All right. Good morning. Good morning. It is 6:31. It is March 28th. Hopefully everyone's feeling well. We have the end of the quarter today. Hopefully everyone had a great quarter. And before you start thinking about how much better you could have done or how happy you were, today, I did my little ice barrel and I listened to my podcast in the morning, starting in the sauna. And one of the things that I was listening to is about gratitude. Gratitude for getting up every day, gratitude for being able to appreciate things around you, the small things, appreciate the life that you have so then you can work, towards the life that you want. And if you're not happy with what you have, it's okay. And then you have to evolve and work for what you want and what you have. So I just, and just it made a lot of sense. So with that being said, my name is Scott Redler. I'm the Chief Strategic Officer of T3Live.com. It is a 6:30 club. We've been doing this every day since the pandemic. Yes, every day since the pandemic. Been getting up and talking about the day, the keys to the market, how we can make some money, how we could situate, how we can get our process moving along so we could execute on the X's and O's. Um, with that being said, I think I did show you this real quickly. You got to go. That's my disclosure. And then we can get off that. Now I want to say good morning to some of my dogs around the world. Let's see if they can hear me. What up, Don? What up, Allie? What up, Dunks? Try moving the mic. It's in and out. Yeah. Oops. I think I got to go back to just the mic on the what's it called on the computer. But anyway, can you hear me now? What's up, Bobby 4.0? What's up, Space Specialist, Option Wrap, Dunks? Um, who else we got? Who else we got? We got Option Wrap. If you guys could tell me, how does the microphone sound? How do we sound? How do we sound? Am I close enough? What's up, Sydney, Australia? What up, Roger? Hopefully everyone's good. We got Mike Pags in the house. We got better. Okay. Well, anyway, kind of cute, right? This week we started the week and we were like, all right, we're hearing from Goldman Sachs that there is, a 33 billion rebalance that had to happen. So on Monday, Tuesday, you had these huge sell imbalances. So just when everyone thought it was that easy, we were kind of soggy yesterday, and then boom, in the last 15 minutes, they ramped into the close. So anyone trying to be short into the close got their tushy squeezed off, and it's just the way it is. It's just pretty interesting how good these computers are getting. So you really have to be on your toes with multiple plans, and have your longs on, your hedges on, and give things proper room. So with that being said, you look here at the chart of the spies, as we exit the first quarter, and all of a sudden we have another wedge, right? Another wedge format where last week, we put a high in at what was that, 524, and then we came in with a very controlled pullback, and then yesterday they ramped it into the close. So what is it going to be today? At this point, spies are down 6 cents, so they could do whatever they want. They could play with the high here. They could take out 524. Either which way, you have to know what you can handle into next week, because on Friday, what's it called? On Friday, what happens on Friday? You have the PCE and you have Powell. So that means, things could have a pretty, dramatic move on Monday. So better be comfortable with what you're long. And if you're too short or overly hedged, you don't want to start the quarter getting squeezed. You know what I'm saying? That's not fun. Anyway, what do you say? Oh, Peter, when you go back on Liz Claim and show with my boy, when am I going back with Charlie Gasparino? I was actually on Neil Cavuto yesterday, a little bit different. They asked if I can go on the 12 o'clock show. So chances are I probably won't be back with Liz until in like a week or two. I might be going out to dinner with Charlie, though. I'll let you know how it goes. He's a fun guy. Anyway, so that's the spies. Okay, 524.11's right there. What's yesterday's high? 523.21. That was a pretty big ramp into the close. And we'll see how long it takes this morning to digest, that ramp. I would say yesterday was a little bit of an interesting day. They did a bit of a rebalance trade with the actual stocks where, the semis that have been the strongest stocks came in a little bit. The stocks that have lagged, like an Apple or some of the other tech names, they had a decent move. So it's kind of, we're in this little flux where what's going to happen next quarter. Are the leaders of this quarter going to, consolidate, correct a little bit and continue, or will, other stocks take the lead or other sectors. And it's kind of hard to tell because you did have a lot of participation. I know everybody was crying, "Oh my God, the S&P, the Magnificent Seven is leading the way. The market sucks, blah, 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 blah," which wasn't true because as a trader, you could play the best stocks, and then if you're an investor and you put money into an S&P fund every single month, it doesn't matter what's driving it, but then, if you adjust, bottom line is in the last month or so, the equal weight S&P, played some catch up, right? I think since the October lows, the S&P is up 29%. The equal weight is now up 26%. So there's a 2% discrepancy. So everyone, the bottom line is stop goddamn complaining and figure out how to approach the market, get up earlier, get more prepared, have multiple plans, put more stocks in your go-to list. So anyway, the Qs are interesting. The Qs haven't really done a whole hell of a lot in the last few weeks. The SPYs made a new high. The Qs kind of didn't. Here is what the Qs look like, kind of going sideways since pretty much March 1st. So for the whole month of March, you've been consolidating in here, in the Qs. So who knows? The Qs could, take off. They're not overbought. While the sectors that outperformed in the last month, it could even actually the small caps had a great week this week. Energy played some catch up. The banks have been great. For those in my power plays, Goldman Sachs, look at this. Finally, after driving everybody nuts for what 3-4 months, it went, and now it looks like this bull play is going to continue. So my power plays product is in that. I think we have a third left, and then you have Morgan Stanley, which looks like it's about to take out this 94. This is a nice chart pattern. It's not Nvidia, it's not Micron, but this is Morgan Stanley. Nice chart pattern. Looks like it can continue. JP Morgan has been a runaway train. But anyway, so you have some bank stocks set up while other things come in. I still in the Magnificent Seven or whatever you want to call them, as far as setups going into next week, I feel like the boy who cried wolf, but I still like Amazon. I still think this Amazon, could get going. I'm in 182.5 calls for next week. I'm also in the stock, and I still like it. I still think if you look at the weekly chart of Amazon, you will see that it's not even back at the all-time highs yet. It's been trending, it's been slow. Here's our 187 double top from way back when. Here's your weekly trend. It's been real nice. So you still have some room back to here before it even tries to take that out. So I kind of think that Amazon is something that could still be a focus. What up, Bobby 4.0? As far as some people like, what about Google? Google actually looks fine too. If you think about Google, had that big gap up, with the Apple news, and then it's been consolidating. So Google, a lot of guys are long verse 146, meaning that's their stop. They're not going to overtrade it. Some might even 147. And then you have guys who say, hey, I'm going to wait till we get a high breakout move above 152 to 154. I get it. So a lot of different ways to do it. If you do it in the tier system, you can do like tier 1, verse 146, gets above 152, get a little bit more, gets above 154, get a little bit more, and then you start selling somewhere to 155, 156, 157, if that's the case when it's going. But if it doesn't get above it, you just sit and wait, and then you have kind of a nice loose stop. So anyway, I think that looks pretty good. Some are saying, what about Apple? Can Apple finally play catch up? Can Apple finally do something? Well, you have points of reference. By the way, I think Apple at some point, like I've said this before, it's been obviously not the place to be if you trade actively for a living, which is fine. It's not, it hasn't been at all. But overall, as an investment, I think Apple at some point, I don't know if it's going to be in the next 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, a year. So investment wise, you've been in it for 5, 10, 15 years. I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to traders. You have a low, a higher low. So you almost have a double bottom versus another bottom. So, hey, maybe there's some traction there. I'm not going to get into the narrative of Apple. Obviously, their phones, have just been like kind of evolving. And I think they could use a flip phone, better phone. I think obviously they got to catch up with the little AI. But at this point, it hasn't really been where the action is. We've done very well with gold. Okay, I'm still in gold. Gold looks like it's ready to go again. Gold, had that first move. We had a nice call spread on and the ETF, and I rolled it up into the 205 calls for when for October 20. I mean, for April 26th. So I have some time. So gold's been good, even though it got a little wishy washy there. Silver not as good. It did turn up a little bit. Silver made a move. We started buying silver in here. I sold 75% of it. And the last 25% is probably going to be a zero, but it happens. That's why we use a tier system. Um, some are asking me about crypto still. I think crypto's kind of cute. It's playing with everybody up here. I still think there could be another ramp. So I've been buying BITO calls on the way down. I bought more BIT calls yesterday. If you look at Bitcoin, even after that whole coin news yesterday about they're going to treat it like I guess they want to treat coin like a financial firm. Bottom line is Bitcoin still is hanging here in a really nice bull flag. So with that being said, I've been buying April to BTI. Oh, I don't want to go in and out. Where is my by the way, this is what I have on it. I don't have a whole hell of a lot, to be honest. I have the 32 and a halves for April 12th. I'm in some Amazon, I'm in some Morgan, I'm in some SPY. I got MSOS yesterday. Where I got a little beat up yesterday is I started buying Nvidia calls for next week, for Friday. And I still think it could be okay, just a little pain in the butt. And guess what? Everyone made fun of me for buying Tilray options. The stock was 190, and we saw some big call, what's it called, sweeps. So that's been a decent trade. And I am short some 523, 524 calls for today. So by being long the spies, I get to keep the premium, and I'm covered a little bit if it gets above there today. If it doesn't get above there today, I get to keep the premium and hopefully make some money with. I bought some AMD calls on the way down yesterday. Here's the 182 and a halves. Here's the gold. Macy's wasn't taken over. It's fine. I did play some rum 8.5 calls that aren't going to work, but I made a lot of money in that stock the past month. So anyway, lots of little things. We're always maneuvering. We're always trying to manage. We're always trying to create cash flow with different plays. But all in all, pretty impressive that Bitcoin is hanging out here, and it does look like at some point, if it wants to do this ramp, I want to be in some options. Nvidia, Nvidia, gave us a little bit of, you could say, gave us a little bit of a clue, right? If you look at what happened 2 days ago, okay, right here, you had it opened up and went red first. Okay, I was actually long the stock in this day, and I got out of the stock, broke this area, didn't take it home, but I did try and play like a red dog reversal here when it went black below 925 and got rejected. And I did try and play it again a little later in the day, and I lost money trying to buy Nvidia. It happens. I mean, a lot of money in the last 3 months trading it, and it just didn't work. So for now, it looks like this channel is going to be here for a little bit. So just be careful. I accumulated some calls for next week. Better than accumulating a stock and risk is endless. Instead, I accumulated a certain amount of calls that I wanted, and my risk is premium paid. And now I'll just trade the stock. Yesterday's low is what? That's 891. So we'll see what happens today at 891. It's either going to hold it or it's not. And I know this morning I looked at it before. It was down a little bit. Let's see, where's Nvidia? Nvidia was down 5. Okay, it's still down 5. So a few things could happen today. You could buy it versus 891. Okay, that could happen, and it could hold and go green. That would make a little bit of a cash flow trade. I wouldn't mind that. It could get below 891, come into 882, which was a prior point of reference, or it could even go down and test the 21-day, which is moved up to what? 874, and then come up, or it continues to get sold. So a lot of things could happen here. At this point, I'm done buying options. I have kind of like a lotto play, and maybe it hangs in here and holds up, or the money's it's gonna take the quarter off. If you look here, remember this pattern here. This took a long time before it went again after a big move. So look how long this channel went for in the video. It was quite some time. A lot of fake outs before finally, taking out this spot here on January 8th. And I remember that. I was there. It was a big time power play, but it faked out here, faked out there, faked out there. If you would have forgot about it, then that happens. So question right now is how long is it going to stay in this upper range? So at this point, didn't hold up here, so it doesn't look like it's going to happen today. So we'll see how it goes next week. So for today, though, 891 is your point of reference. Does it hold above it? Does it break below it and reclaim it? Does it break below it and stay below it? Those are the three things you have to ask yourself. No opinion, no nothing. But anyway, so that's that. AMD does seem like it's trying to hang in here. I did buy some options in AMD for next Friday. It's hard for this to go, feels like, until Nvidia gives a little bit of a bottom and gives you a clue that it's ready to stop going down. I think this has gone down enough. I bought the 185s for next week. Stock right now is what? I think it's down. AMD is down 76 cents. They've ramped it up into the close. So maybe this thing goes red to green today for a trade. And if we can get above 183.50, maybe with some new flows next week, then perhaps this downtrend, a correction phase, whatever you want to call it, since the red dog reversal high here, will change. But again, if the semis is not where the money is, because the semis has been where the money is the last 3 months, chances are it's not going to really work so well. So if you get out of it at 214 on that red dog reversal stretch, you're buying it at whatever it's called. It's you're buying it closer to 179. Not too bad. If you can get above this, maybe a new little trend starts. So those are two things that I kind of cost averaged into with Amazon, and then I'll see what happens next. I'm not really playing Mara and Riot. You like the old mic better? Okay, I might have to go back to the old mic because, again, I got to figure it out. I'm going to watch it back. I'll have my team watch it back and figure out whether or not this. Here's the mic. You can see it. It's in my little green screen. If it's not good, it's not good.